Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Good evening and welcome to the LC Coaches Show. I'm Keith Newbern along with Jeremy Lewis. We're here live tonight from the Huddle House with Coach Rob Brunell, head coach of our Lanier County Lady Dogs. Coach Brunell and his girls ready to head out to Columbus this week. Played in the Elite Eight.
Yep.
Second year in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Made that trip and looking forward to it, Coach. And
yeah, really excited about it. You know, I mean, it's as we talked earlier in the year, you know, it takes a little luck to get there, but, you know, hey, and it was a battle that night. But, yeah, to get on back to Columbus is a great feat. That was certainly one of the goals for the team, you know, is to get a repeat back there. And, you know, we remember what that situation and experience was like. So
that's right.
We're definitely excited about going back for sure.
Yeah, everybody in this community is excited for you, happy for you, and excited for the young ladies and ready to get back up there and see if we can't punch one in this year.
We're definitely going to give it a shot. I think, you know, we're deep enough, and if we're playing our best ball, which, you know, we seem to be doing at times, but if we can put it all together, we got as good a shot as anybody. I mean, really and truthfully.
That's right. Well, when you get to this time of year, everybody's good, so it don't really matter who you play. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But before we go much further, but since the last time we met here and had a coaches show, you have won another region championship, second one in 4 years.
That's right.
These seniors won their freshman year, I believe.
That's right.
Come back and cap their careers off with another one in their senior year.
That's right.
And got a good group of seniors there. There's 4 of them, I believe, with Aniston Gano, Elle Watson, Cassidy Newsom, and Daisy Jones.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And those young ladies, like I say, very proud of them to win 2. Got 2 of those banners out there on the fence belong to them. So
That's
they can stay that for a while at least anyway.
That's it. You know, another thing, too, is, you know, it's kind of special because, you know, that was my first year here. My first year coaching. So going through with those girls through a 4-year stint with them and the ups and downs we've had and where we finished and where we've been so close and that kind of thing. So it really certainly made it really sweet at the end.
Sure. And then right now sitting at 21-2. Of course, records don't really matter. Everybody's good, but you know, losing, you only lost 2 games all year long. That's hard to do, Coach. You play Tift County and lose 1-0 in a tournament that's probably we didn't make that game. I think we might have been at football that night, but
right.
Probably I'm guessing you know for sure. Probably was a time limit situation.
Well, it was, but we got to 7 innings.
Did you get to 7 innings?
Yeah, we got to 7 innings. You know, looking back on it, we probably should have won it. We had our chances. You know, but that was early in the year. I mean, that's the thing about that watermelon tournament. It's like the second week in August, so it's right. Really quick. And, you know, Tift County was pretty solid. I mean, you know, they played well that night, and I thought we did too. And we had a chance at the end, but just a unlucky bounce you know, the hitter that was up we had basically loaded 2 out, hit a scorcher, and it just went off the edge of the glove and rolled in the right direction kind of thing.
Right.
So, you know, you chalk that one up and kind of move on.
That's right. Then the only other loss was to Wilcox.
That's right.
A few weeks back, and I kind of looked at that. I said, you know, if you're going to lose one, you lose one and you find out, hey, girls, we got to work.
Right.
You know, you can't we're not just going to have it given to us.
Right.
So that was kind of maybe a little bit of a wake-up call.
I think it really was. I mean, I'd said going into that not that we didn't look sharp. We didn't look like we were there yet because, like I said, it was just homecoming, and like I said, losing that one helps. It helps you refocus. You know, we've been in some battles throughout the year and come on the top end of them, and so I think that was just one of those situations where it's, you know, not, as I told the girls, knock Lanier back a few steps. I mean, because we kind of got ahead, poked the chest out pretty good, and it was time for us to say, wait a minute, you know, we got to show up every day. We can't show up part of the day.
That's right. But, you know, just had things like that happen. Still won the region championship. And,
we did.
Like I say, things have escalated since then. Talk about a little bit about Wednesday night. We played game 1 and kind of another close ball game there. Charlton scored, I think, in the 3rd inning.
Mm-hmm.
They led 1-0. I don't think we scored until maybe the 4th.
4th or 5th or something.
And, we scored 1 and tied it. Aniston hit a home run, tied it up.
Well,
and then we scored 4 and just kind of put it on cruise control.
Yeah, and you know, I don't remember because, I mean, the umpires asked me, and I just, for some reason, I think we missed a run in the 3rd. I mean, the umpire talking to me, I think it was supposed to be 1-1 in the 3rd. I mean, even though, because we had a strange play at second on a fly ball that didn't get caught for them, kind of fell out in the Bermuda Triangle, as we call it, and kind of poked around, and they got the second out at the play at second. But I think, you know, the girl from 3rd for me was going with 2 outs, and she went home, and the umpire said she crossed the plate.
Right.
So he counted the run, but we didn't count the run. So we didn't look at it. So, I don't know if that was the case or not. But, yeah. About the 4th or 5th, we kind of woke up. Really and truthfully, it started with Steffi Gano hit a beautiful double into the gap, and then it just kind of went from there. Elle had a great hit over the top of the second baseman, and then, you know, you walk Aniston, and you know, just kind of you're opening yourself up for some things. But, yeah, I think we put, 4 on them that end.
4 on them and took a 5-1 lead.
Right.
They picked up 1 later, but in the 6th, I think. That, you know, we cut the ball off and got someone out at second, I think it was, and then the run across the plate, similar situation.
Right.
Time and play.
Right.
And umpire counted the run, and so 5-2, we win that ball game. And,
right.
And you want to talk about they did. They would pitch around Aniston, and for somewhat, and then.
Well, you know, they did do that. Well, you know, the first game she hit a 2-run home run in the first game. You know, we were down. Actually, we were down 1-0. She hit a 2-run home run to start that, and then it was 2-1 for a while till Steffi came up. So so they hit that. Then they put her on in that bat, which, you know, if I'm the other coach, I'm not really pitching to her either. I mean, in situations like that. But then, you know, Sammy and Ramsey and Cassie, those girls behind them, really started, you know, hitting the ball too and doing what they needed to do. Right. So it just kind of came up, and we got the runs on the board. And then Sammy was really strong in the circle. I thought she threw the ball really, really well. Mm-hmm. Went the 7 innings and really just kept them down, even though, you know, they tried to force us some stuff with some run game and running on us. And Steffi was really good about cutting down runners. She threw out a couple of them trying to steal bases and stuff. So, you know, that kind of limited what they were capable of doing, at least in the first game. So, I mean, you know, that winning the first one's crucial.
Yeah.
You know, we knew that. But then the tendency a lot of times is to relax in the second one, which, you know.
That's right.
We did a little bit.
You mentioned Ramsey and Cassidy. Ramsey, I think, hit a kind of a little flare out in left field that scored a run, and then Cassidy hit a 3-run double or 2 or 3-run double off the fence out there in left center field. And
you know, to be honest with you, I thought she got it. I thought she had hit it out, and you know, with 2 outs, and it was a long at bat. I mean, I think it was probably a 14 or 15 pitch at bat.
Yeah,
she
and it
fouled
was
off
3-2 forever.
Yeah, she fouled off some great pitches by that girl. She fouled off at least 4 beautiful changeups the girl threw that just had her out on the front foot. So she battled the whole way, and then, you know, we've talked all the time with the hitters, if you'll battle long enough, eventually the pitcher will make a mistake, and she did. She made one right down, and Cassidy hammered it. I really thought she'd hit it out.
Yeah.
But, you know, with
that
two
left
outs,
fielder just kept drifting back, and you thought, well, is she going to catch the ball? And it just one of those deals where you think, well, good grief, this ball ever going to land?
Exactly.
And hit off the fence.
But we were off and moving. You know,
Yeah.
the 3-2 pitch, we were moving anyway, and 2 outs we were moving. So, and I didn't hesitate to send Ramsey. She thought I was going to hold her up, but
right.
I had no intentions of holding her up.
That's right.
She was going to have to run. So
That's right.
But you know But once we got on top there, with us being the home team, I felt like at that point we'd taken the wind out of them a little bit.
Yeah, and their pitcher. I mean, you talk about baseball, you can only pitch one game, and then you talk about softball, and they say, oh, that girl can pitch out. The girl got tired.
She did.
You know, the break between games might have helped her a little bit for the first of that game, or the second game, but she got tired in that first game. And
she did right at the end. She, you know, we had seen that with her before, you know, late innings where she'd started to not be as sharp. I thought she was certainly a little sharper than we'd seen her the other 2 times. But, yeah, she was starting to wear a little bit. And then, of course, going into the second game, she started, and we knew she was kind of on the edge. I mean,
well,
you know,
we looked it up on Game Changer there in the second game, and she wound up throwing about 250 pitches between the 2 games. She threw around. She threw, I think, 140 and something in the second game, and it thrown 96. So
right.
You're looking at 245 pitches.
That's a lot to throw for anybody. I mean, you know, some of you college kids on a 3-game series don't throw that many pitches. So, I mean, yeah, she did tire, and she was not as sharp. She had to really rely on that changeup a good bit, and I had picked it up. We had picked it up, so we knew when it was coming. And then in the other pitch she put down the middle, we were able to really get on and go. But the second game was one of those Friday the 13th, Halloween, something. It was one of those things.
You never know. It seemed like I kept thinking, well, goodness, the person with the last at bat's going to win it, and we ain't going to have the last at bat.
That's what I kept thinking too. We'll get talking about it here in a second. I'll confess something about it that you know. So.
Yeah, but that game too, we started out. Aniston hit a 2-run homer in the first inning.
Right.
Steffi walked, and then Aniston hit I guess they was trying to pitch her away, and she hit it over the left center field fence. She can get.
Yeah.
I guess they wasn't thinking she can go anywhere with it.
Well, and that's kind of what he said. He was like, it's just not far enough away. I mean, you just can't throw it. As well as she was swinging, as well as she was seeing the ball, you just couldn't throw anything near the plate. And they walked her 5 times after that.
That's right. And
you
know, you see Coach Baxter. He's sitting over there on the bucket like a lot of folks do, and when that ball was off the bat, his head dropped, and then he just shook his head.
Well, and I stuck my hand in there because I knew by the sound it was gone. So I mean, you know, as a coach, you've been doing it long. You know, if you've been doing it a long time, you hear it when it hits the bat. You're pretty sure it's gone, especially as clean as that one sounded. Like I said, Cassidy, when she hit hers, I thought she had hit hers, but it, you know, maybe a little too flat, maybe with hers, or maybe a little too much air, I guess. But you know, anyway.
And well, then they come back and they put a 4 spot on the board, and we're thinking, well, what in the world has happened here?
Yeah. Well, you know, I talked with Aniston. She wasn't as sharp as she has been. I don't know. She was, as she said, talking, she felt like disconnected. She just wasn't quite connecting where she needed to be. So she was a little off. And so, you know, I got her through. I was thinking the first inning was rough. I figured she'd settle down the second inning and we'd be okay. But she struggled the second inning as well. I mean, and I think we actually ended up being down 6-2 maybe.
I think we were down 6-2.
And I brought Sammy back in. And, you know, Sammy had thrown 7 innings before. So, but I asked her, she said, Coach, I got gas, I can go. And I said, okay, here we go. So we're going to go.
This time of year, you got to go with it. You can't.
That's right.
No reason to save nothing to the next day. So
that's right.
Well, the thing was thinking about saving it the next day. I got thinking, well, she's pulling Aniston now. At least she ain't got it tonight. If we have to go tomorrow, she'll be fresh. So
well, we did, and that's also why I really didn't pull Ramsey on the mound.
Right.
I mean, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? If we go 3 games, we go tomorrow, I can throw Ramsey, and Ramsey will be fresh and can go, and then I can use Aniston, and if I need to, and their girl, after throwing that much, was not going to be much the next day, I wouldn't think. So that's why I kind of hesitated with Ramsey coming. It's not that I don't have faith in her, because I absolutely do.
That's right.
But I was really thinking strategically, you know, what can we do the next day if we end up in a 3rd game?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I kept telling folks sitting around me, I said, we're in good shape, because if you'd have been down here for the inter-squad game that I umpired the other day, you would have saw Ramsey James was throwing the ball.
She can throw it.
She's going to win Game 3 if we go to Game 3.
That's right. And I told her, you know, before we started all this, I brought her in my room and said, look, we're going to need you. You're going to have to be. It's going to have to be a 3-pitcher rotation. So there will be an opportunity where you're throwing a third game somewhere or some game sometime. So, certainly that was in my mind.
Yeah. So we were down 6-2. We come back and we score 6, and we go up 8-6. We score 6. I don't remember what inning it was, but we jumped on them, and there again, you freshman Steffi Gaino hits a double off the center field fence. And then just the floodgates open up, and we score 6 runs.
We start hitting, and she, she put a couple of us on, but we really started to hit the ball. And, she got a little tired, so I think he took her out. And then he put in another girl who was really just a change-up and throws a fast ball, but it's not very fast.
That's right.
She's a little over the place, so she put a few of us on. I mean, there was a ton of walks in the game all the way around. But, we got that 8-6, and I thought, well, okay, well, here we go. We'll be okay. And then that next inning was a disaster for us. I mean, we committed some errors, and I looked at it. Well, I say I looked at it. I kind of looked at the book a little bit, but then I get home, my wife informs me that we had at least 14 physical and mental errors combined, which we probably really did.
We had 4 in that inning.
We had trouble just with the bunt. I don't know, and we work on fielding the bunt all the time, so it was just a matter of we fielded it fine. It was just the throws were off or into the runner or something. It was kind of crazy, really. It was just one of them, like I say, weird innings where you just can't figure out what the heck's going on. So
well, we get 2 outs, and the girl walks, and then we throw behind her at first, goes in the right field. We pick it up and throw it in the left field. She scored.
Yeah,
so it's just one of those.
Well, and that's unusual even for Jenna to do that. I mean, she's pretty fairly accurate with her arm, but she told me afterwards she just she didn't think she didn't swing the bat very well, and she had a problem, a little trouble defensively, and she apologized. I'm like, girl, that's ball.
That's ball. That's part of it.
That's the way it goes. So you be ready to go the next day. It won't matter. So
that's right. You can put stuff like that behind you and get ready for the next one.
Right.
But we're down 9-8, and I think we go we somewhere points we tied up 9-9.
Right.
And then doggone in the bottom of the 6th, they scored 3 more.
Well, and they did, and I looked at Coach Claire. We were talking. I was like, "That's ball game." I think. I was just, because I just didn't know if we had enough gas in us, And I felt like if we could get through, we had Jenna and Braylon coming up, and I was like, if we can get back to the top, we can turn the top over, we got a shot. And then they both got out. We were 2 outs, down 3.
Down 3. Yeah.
And then Steffi hits a double down the line, and Aniston hits a line drive over the second baseman, and then L does, and then Aniston, it's just one right after another, and they walk a few, and then, before you know it's pass, ball, walk, hit. It just kind of, and once it starts tumbling, it goes, and then we ended up tying at 12-12, top of this, oh, no, excuse me. So we were down 12-9. We ended up going up 16.
Well, we tied at 12-12.
Right.
Go to 8. Go to the 8th.
That's right.
We go to the 8th and score 4 more.
Yeah, 16.
That time they walked in the 8th. They decided they'd walk Steffi. They weren't gonna let her hit another double.
I wouldn't have thrown to her again. That ball probably looked like a beach ball coming at her right now.
That's right.
But yeah, got up 16-12, and I was like, okay, we're gonna be all right. And again, same situation. Went out, asked Sammy to hit the first batter.
Yeah.
Walt the next one. I go out and ask her. She said, Coach, I'm good. I said, well, I got Ramsey. We can go with Ramsey. And she said, well, I got it. I'm good. If I give up a run or something, I'll let you know. Well, you know what? Next girl hits a double down the right field line, and those – and she's at third or hits a double, and then there's I think a pass ball moves to the third or something. So it's, it's 16-14, and she just looked at me and waved her hand, and I knew. So and then just switched with Ramsey, and then, Ramsey doing what Ramsey does. She came
closed it out.
First 2 ground balls right to her, and then a line drive to center field that actually L dove. I think she dove for it.
That's right.
But
if it gets by her, we're probably playing another inning.
If it gets by, her, it's definitely 16-15. It might be it might be 16-16. But but she made a great play on it. But those first 2 outs for Ramsey, they were ground balls right back at her, and that was perfect. And I told her after the game, don't discount it. She was as important to us as anything.
That's right.
In that situation right there, for sure.
That's right. Well, crowd poured onto the field. Had a trailer out there in right field. Had it loaded down with football players, baseball players. I think everybody in the school might have been there.
We had a crowd, and they made a lot of noise. The next morning I woke up, and I didn't have much of a voice and my wife goes. She asked me if I was getting sick, and I said no. I said I'm having to holler over cowbells and all that other stuff. I said so.
Some kind of clacking things they had going on.
But that was a great atmosphere. I mean, I don't know how many people were there, but there were a ton of people there, and it was a great atmosphere. And it's really kind of what playoff softball should be like. And certainly you don't discount the importance of the crowd to your group. I mean, when you're down a couple of runs, or like we were down 3 and we come back and score and put all that stuff up, and we've been in tight ball games before, so we know that we have the capability to score those runs and get back. And as I told one of the coaches and parents we were talking about, it's like we just got to fight to the end, not give up attitude. We just believe that we can do it and we can pull it out, and you're going to have to take us out. We're not going to quit fighting. And we fought all the way through that ball, and it was a long ball game. We started about 7:15. I think we finished closer to 11. I think
somewhere around 10:30. It's getting late.
That's a long day.
It's a long day, but that one's going to have to rank right there, just a little bit below that Sly County game last year. So
yeah, it'll have to be below.
It
Sly
has to be
County.
Sly County. I mean, you couldn't. That Sly County game in Columbus. I mean, everybody couldn't be there.
That's a different
But
atmosphere.
if we'd had this crowd in Columbus, I don't know if they'd have let Lanier County come back to Columbus.
They probably wouldn't have. If they did, they'd have had a whole other section for us.
That's right. We probably wouldn't have played in the stadium very much.
That's right.
All right, Coach. Well, let's take a 30-second break here on the network, and we'll come back and talk about Columbus and the teams we're going to meet up there.
Okay.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something. Go.
All right, we back here live from the Huddle House with the LC Coaches Show, talking with Coach Rob Brunell. We've discussed Sweet 16. Now moving on to the Elite 8 up in Columbus, Coach. We're going to face a familiar, I say familiar, we don't know if they still got the same folks, but a Bowden team that we fought tooth and nail with up there last year in the opening game, and seeing the same team this year when we go up there.
Yeah, they, the first game they were beating was 2-0 in the stadium, and then we played them in the Final Four, and I think we, like I said, we talked about it, we were out of gas. I mean, it's kind of thing. We made a couple early mistakes, and then they beat us pretty good. I think I don't remember that score, but it was 7 or 8 runs I think on top of us to beat us. But yeah, I mean they're missing a few players from last year. They're missing that big lefty pitcher they had, and they got the catcher graduated, and they've got some kids that have gone on. So I'm not sure they're as strong as they were last year, but don't mistake that they're a good ball team.
Yeah. Well, they got a 19-10 record, and people say, well, they lost 10 ball games. Well, 5 of those games, 3 of them was to Gordon Lee.
Right.
Who's the number 1 team in the state, who, if we win, we get the fortune of playing in the second round.
Right.
But they lost 3 to Gordon Lee. They lost 2 to Tryon.
Right.
Tryon we have played in recent years, and we know how good they are.
Yep.
And then they lost 2 to Bremen.
Right.
And just to give you a little bit of give the folks out there a little bit of a idea about Bremen. Bremen went over to Nashville last week and the first game beat Berrien 15-0, and Berrien's one of the best teams in this area.
Right.
Right up there with us. And
right.
Then you get to 7A schools like Lowndes and Cockwood.
Right. Right.
And,
Well, the second game was 8-6. I did talk to Coach Jones over there at Berrien, and she said it just first game, what could go wrong went wrong, kind of thing. She said they just played terrible and awful, and and she said, but they did start hitting Bremen, playing better the second game. So, I did. I talked to the Bremen coach today a little bit about some information. Mm-hmm. So he's giving me some idea, and it's about what I expected. I mean, they got a pretty good pitcher, and she works the ball in and out and up and down and hits her spots pretty well. And his thing is they got probably one good little that he considers to be a really good hitter. The rest of them are, small ball, bunt. He said they kind of struggle to score some runs, so they're going to play a little small ball stuff and that kind of thing, which, it's kind of what Charlton did.
Plenty of practice. Yeah, wins tonight.
Yeah, we know how that works. So, it's Columbus. I mean,
That's right.
So it's going to be a battle regardless. We got to go in there with our best game, and if we go in there and play like we're supposed to, then, we'll be moving on to play again that night. If we don't, then we won't. Right. But it's kind of like, I tell the girls in situations, if you go over there and you play two solid ball games and you lose, you lose. I mean, you don't want to look at it that way, but I mean, it's just, if you play really, really well, then, and the team beats you, they just beat you. I mean, they're just, that time they're a little better team. But I think if you really look at where we are and what we've been doing, we're definitely one of the top 4 teams in the state. I would say you looking at Gordon Lee and us, and then Tryon and Bowden are the top 4 that are really kind of going to be there. We're there every year, and you probably could even add Georgia Military's back this year. They didn't make it last year, but they're back this year, so they'll be in there too.
That's right. Well, we played Bowden to begin with. We beat them. We played, like you said, 8 o'clock that night against the winner of Gordon Lee and Tryon. So we saying Gordon Lee, but, you never know.
Well, you say that, but, I mean, they've run ruled them both times. So, I mean, it's going to be look here. We've been talking about it for the last 4 years since I've been here. And prior to, it's Gordon Lee waiting on everybody else. I mean, they've been doing it a long time. Their routine of stuff and how they do things in the system that they have in play, they've been doing it a long time, and they stick with it. So, and they're good.
That's
I mean,
right.
You look at what they did to Telfair in the second round. That's a pretty good indication.
That's right. And if unfortunately was to lose the first game, you would play again at noon on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there is a little bit of weather in the area. That could change.
But you're still, and the thing about that is you're going to get the loser of the Gordon Lee Tryon games.
That's right.
So either way, you're seeing somebody out in the top group up there.
Winning that first one's key no matter what.
Right.
So.
But I don't, the girls, we don't plan on losing the first one. We plan on going on and being ready to play again at 8 o'clock Friday night.
That's right. And Jeremy has the bracket
Thursday
he can
night.
put up on the screen for everybody to see.
We'll be ready to play at 8 o'clock Thursday night. That's the plan. Finish at 12 and go to 8. So,
that would be the ideal thing.
it would.
And in case anybody out there is wondering, we hadn't put it out there yet, but Lanier County Network will be in Columbus. We'll be live. This year we'll be streaming the game. It will be live video and the audio. Last year we just done like audio, radio type thing. This year it'll be live video throughout.
And I'm gonna try to find a place right behind home plate, like we do at regular games, so that we can see the pitcher and the catcher and the batter and everything.
Well, that'll be good. That'll be. I know everybody will really want to see that because it's great listening to it on the radio, but at the same time you get to see it, and I'm sure there'll be a few classes here at Lanier High School that are probably got it up on the screen there.
They were doing it last year.
They
were listening last year, yeah.
On the smart boards watching it. So
every smart board. I expect every one of them from pre-K through 12th grade to be watching us.
I'm sure they probably will be, and that'll be one of the things I talk to the girls about. That home's still here, home's with us. They're all watching you back home, so we got to know that they're with us and pulling for us, and we'll go to work from there. So
that's right.
We're excited about it, though. Like I said, we had a good day of practice, and we're gonna have a couple more good days coming in, and then we'll be ready to go.
Okay, sounds good, Coach. Trying to think if there's anything else we have missed or not covered tonight, but like I say, anybody who can make that trip up to Columbus, I want to tell you, last year's first time I'd ever went.
Same for me. And it was fun.
It is an experience that everybody needs to be able to take part in.
If you
like high school softball, or if you like softball, period.
Right. Well, they do a good job. You got the opening ceremonies in the morning, and all the teams are out, and they do a good job of that. And then the games when you get out there, I mean, you're talking top-level team, 8 top-level teams from every classification, and there's some exciting ball that goes on, and there's some, just overall intensity level is just high, and it's just one of the things with not only does it wear the players out, it wears the fans out too, because there's just a lot of ups and downs and ebbs and flows, and you never know what's going to happen. So
that's right. Well, I can tell you this: last year, we were there. We were not playing. We had played, and we were waiting to play again. And we walked down to there's 2 sides of the complex. There's a bridge or walkway in between the 2 sets of fields, the stadium and 2 or 3 fields is on one end, and then
and then
you got 4 fields on the other end.
Right.
So we walked down to the other end just to see, hey, what's happening down there. And little did we know she'd be pitching for us this year. I stood there and watched Sammy Siska pitch for Cook County.
Yep.
And I don't even remember who she was pitching, but she won
Calhoun.
the ball game 1-0.
She was playing Calhoun.
So you can go watch a ball game, and who knows, you never know who you're going to be watching.
Well, that's true too, and we were thrilled that she moved and came over, and that's just wonderful. It's been good for us, and she'll be needed in Columbus just like everybody else. Our top 9 and the 10 or 11 girls we use as runners, or 10 or 11 girls if we got to use a girl as a hitter. Those are important, but we got 21 girls on the team, and all 21 girls has a role and has a point, and we're going to need all 21 of them to feed us and keep us going, and then the fans behind us to keep it going. So, yeah, it's one of those things where you see some pretty dang good ball.
Man, it is from one end of that complex to the other.
That's right.
Whether you're playing in the stadium or if you're playing on one of the other fields, it's just an unbelievable atmosphere.
Right.
And like I say, I have a little ball team that I help coach, younger girls, and I can tell them, I tell them a couple of times a year, hey, I sat there last year in Columbus, and I could visualize those girls playing on that field.
Yeah.
And I said, you're going to make it there one day. You just got to keep working. And that's what we expect here, and I think we're going to see a lot more of this.
Well, the standard, I came here 4 years ago, and when I came here, we talked about, the first thing when the superintendent and stuff and the athletic director and all the principal and all that stuff about changing the culture and doing what we need to do, and we've done that, and now, like I said, it's a standard. It's an expectation that we have for our program to really move and be competing for a region title every year and being in Columbus every year. Now, do we understand it's difficult to do that? Sure it is, but at the same time, that standard's there.
That's right.
And we're going to maintain that standard, and that starts with our work rate in the summer and our work rate during the school year, and then, off season anytime. So, it's all important. But, yeah, we've said it there, and now it's time to – and it's come to fruition. Like I said, it's a great time. It's a great situation. It's a great repeat to be there.
That's right.
And any of those younger girls, it's fun. It was right before the Charlton game. Miss Jonan came in and talked to the girls about, motivation and holding the rope. And she had a good speech with them. But she brought in 4 younger girls and asked the young girls, said, who do you want to be like in this room? And each of the girls says, I want to be like you. I want to be. So she's looking at players, she's telling the players, you're setting a standard and you're showing these kids what it's like and what they need to be like, and so they're excited about it. So I think we got a great future here at Lanier County for sure.
That's right. All right, Coach. Well, we're going to let you get out of here. I know you got another 45
drive.
minutes to an hour drive
That's
over
right.
to near about to Broxton. So
that's right.
I'll let you get out of here, and I know you're going to have to come back to work tomorrow and get everybody ready for the trip up Wednesday.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna pack tonight. Packing and recheck tomorrow night probably.
All right. Good luck to you, and we'll see you.
I appreciate it.
Not Wednesday. We'll see you Thursday.
You'll see me Thursday, ready to go.
All right. We're going to take another 60 to 120-minute break, 120-second break here on the network, and we'll come back and talk Bulldog football with Coach Kurt Williams.
Oh, there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop?
It's down.
It's down in the sphere.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, and there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop?
It's down.
It's down in the sphere.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
All right, welcome back to the LC Coaches Show. We're joined now live with Coach Kurt Williams. Coach, been having a pretty good day today.
Yeah, it's kind of flying by, you know. It kind of feels like yesterday we was doing the
First one of these.
the first one, season opening, and we hadn't even played a game, and now here we are.
Working on week 8.
Yeah, I got like 10 practices left.
Or game 8. Week,
game
no
8.
telling what week, but
Not even 3 full weeks left of guaranteed football.
that's right.
So, I know it's been a while. I missed the last one because we had the stomach bug. And
That's right. I don't remember who all we've played since, but we're going to back it. We're going to make sure we talk about them all.
yeah.
We got 2 big wins. I don't know if we talked about the Hamilton win.
Yeah, I was here.
The last time, but we had
I was
a
here
big
after we played Wilcox, and then I know I missed the one after the big win versus Atco.
versus
About
that homecoming.
killed me. I missed like 2 days of school with that stomach bug and missed practice that Monday. Couldn't do the coach show. I did the Beckham interview in bed, and I sound rough on that thing, man.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I feel for you if you got the stomach bug that was going around, because it was awful.
It was a good one.
It took me out a good 72 hours. So,
but we've improved a whole lot. 2 wins, and I mean 2-5 right now.
Yeah, 2-5, and been competitive in every ball game except with Wilcox and Irwin and.
Well, I'd say we was competitive in those games at points.
Yeah, at points.
The final score may not reflect that, but we were competitive Friday night against Irwin, and it was 7-0 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and
13-0.
Deep in the second
quarter, and
they scored 2 late touchdowns.
Yeah, they kind of got it cranked up, and we didn't play. I was really pleased with our defense Friday night. I thought they, since I've taken over as head coach, has probably been our best tackling performance.
Right.
Last year when we played Irwin, we didn't even get DJ Lundy on the ground, and I think we hit him for 2 tackles for loss. And man, he is a physical specimen.
He is.
If you wasn't at the game Friday and hadn't seen him in person, I was talking to Officer Morford, our sheriff's resource officer that let the team in. Said he looked at DJ and was like, "My goodness, this kid's in high school. It's a grown man."
Yeah.
And when Roy hit him at full speed as hard as he possibly could, and he just kind of shrugged it off, I was like, man.
Yep.
But
if you wonder who that is, he was the running back who was about the size of our biggest lineman.
Yeah. I think he's about 225, 230.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if you hadn't tried to tackle 225, 230 at full speed, it ain't easy.
He's got colleges all over the country, all SEC, ACC, talking with him. I don't know how many offers he's got or who has offered him, but I do know he was in Athens during that demoralizing loss to South Carolina. So, but he was up in Athens for that ball game. So, don't know if Georgia's offered him yet, but they have at least brought him in. And
I don't think they have. I think, but looking at the game Friday, I mean, their 3 big prospects, 1, 4, and 7, is the guys who really made some plays that really changed the game.
That's right.
7 is a junior and 1 of 4 are seniors, and somebody said something, and I think Jamari Colson, number 1, he caught that tunnel screen, and man, he took
that was
off.
on the 4th and 9 play, I think.
Yeah.
4th and 9.
I really thought we made them earn everything in the first half, and that's coming a long way from where we started this thing. And
you look at 4th and 9, 3 minutes to go. He catches that pass, he scores, makes it.
Well,
we could go into half 13-0.
Yep.
But just you have playmakers all over the field, and you got a lot of folks to cover when you got the talent that Irwin has.
He took off and made a couple guys miss, and somebody thought, man, he is fast. I said that's what SEC speed looks like, and because he's another one this guy offers from like Auburn and South Carolina.
Right.
And 7 doesn't have the offers yet, but I believe when this time goes around, because he's probably going to be up for Region Player of the Year just because he's made plays on both sides of the ball, and they showed why they're number 1 team in the state, especially on defense. They are the real deal on defense.
That's right. A lot of folks, which I've heard it all over, that their first team defense has yet to allow a point. I know we talked about it, you and I did today, that maybe Fitzgerald scored on them. I was going to text Coach Will Oliver up there and ask him that, but forgot about it. But if they've only given up 1 touchdown the first 10 in 7 ball games, I mean, that just tells you they played. Clinch already shut them out, played Fitzgerald, and only gave up 8 to Fitzgerald. Yeah. They've not given up more than 1 touchdown in any ball game, and they have 3 shutouts. So
coming in the game, I thought up front they wasn't as good. Their D-line was okay. I've changed my mind on that. Like, we had our hands full up front because we've been I think that's been one of the biggest differences this year for us is we're a lot better up front on both sides of the ball. And when you're good up front, it gives you a chance. And they play the odd 3-3 stack, and we try to run power, and we got double teams on all these front guys trying to work to the linebacker. Well, we couldn't get movement on the D-line guys, and so you're taking away two guys, and you got DJ and another line. They're just running free.
Mm-hmm.
And just if there was a hole, it closed really fast. They're really fast on defense and well coached. And Coach Nobles is out with his cancer issue, and his coaching staff had done a great job. And that's kind of where football's a little bit different. You really rely on the guys that you hired on your staff to carry their weight, and they're doing a good job. And it shows you why they've been so successful is because he's got some good guys in his program.
That's right.
Coaching them up. And so, I mean, I was somewhat pleased with, I think we showed that we've kind of closed the physical gap.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night, but we still got a ways to go, obviously. But Irwin has beat everybody.
That's everybody. They
Other
lowest
than
point
Clinch.
total, I think, was 38 against Fitzgerald. And
Yeah, they beat
Fitzgerald played. Did they play in the ship last year? They hit
Final Four.
semifinals anyway.
Final Four. And I think lost in overtime to the state champ, Hurd.
That's right.
So that's how close Fitzgerald is. And they got a good football team. They put it on them in Osceola.
That's right.
And, I mean, it is what it is. And,
Let's back up just a little bit, Coach. You talked about how you've improved up front and how you played well up front. One of those games that I was really impressed with, we won that Atkinson County game. Atkinson County, when we played over in Berrien in that spring scrimmage, I thought, goodness, they are dominating everybody with their size along the line of scrimmage. And they came over here, and we kind of blowed them off the ball. What was that, 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah, well.
And it just shows how much we improved from the spring until.
Well, if you go back a year, we beat Atco in the spring over here.
That's right.
So the spring is like I told you, I don't put a whole lot. Now that I've been in this thing 10 years, that don't put a whole lot of stock in scrimmage games and spring games because everybody's in a different place. Like Keontae was not with us.
Mm-hmm.
Keontae's our defensive player of the week twice already this year. He's our leading tackler from last year. We didn't have Roy Johnson in the spring, who has proven to be probably him and Keontae are our two biggest playmakers on defense. So we didn't have those guys in the spring. And then we played Atco while they're fresh, and we're 24 minutes in, and it was like 90 plus
That's right.
degrees that day. So, I think that had a lot to do with it, and we had a bad week of practice, the Atco game, and homecoming. I was really worried about it because I felt like we matched up with Atco, and we showed up and really challenged the offensive line that week, and they got player of the week that week, and thought we just took over the game in the second half, or especially in the fourth quarter. We got the ball back with I don't forgot how much, like 5 minutes, and ran the ball.
Ran the timeout.
Nice 4-minute drill.
Could have scored again. Just
yeah.
took a knee down inside the 10.
Well, and we didn't play great that game. We had a drop ball that probably would have scored and made it 35-14. And really, I think if we were able to hit the big touch, we gave them a gift. I believe Jalen had his stinger, fumbles the ball, and I think that made it 28-21. But we had a few opportunities where we could have put the game 2-3 scores ahead, where they would have had to drop back pass, and that's where we kind of took advantage of the game up front, where we were able to pass rush. But as long as they were able to sit there and hand the ball off and grind away, we were kind of because they had a big running back, had big fullbacks, and they were just pounding us. And but thought, I was telling the kids today, that's probably been our most complete game for us, offense, defense, special teams, because it seems like every week, and this is going all the way back to Union County, one of the units, offense, defense, or special teams, doesn't show up or they don't play well, and it usually costs us. Going all the way back to Union, we played really good defense, played okay offense, and
Annalise thinking about coming and talking.
Yeah, I think she's going to the potty. Special teams really cost us in Union, and then flash forward to Montgomery, and we just don't play really good defense in the second half, and I think we had a costly turnover too, and 2 costly turnovers, I believe, in the second half, and we just haven't really played well coming out of the half, and
but we're about maybe 5 points away from being.
We are 3 points away from having a winning record, that's what I told the kids. I'm like, yes, we played the number 1 team in the state, but I think y'all are giving. I think we gave up a little bit, and that's kind of what I was disappointed. We didn't believe we could play with Irwin in spots. We had some kids do, some kids didn't. And I'm like, you're 3 points away from being a 4-3 ball club in a really good region. Like, you're a good football team. Like, you got to believe that. And that's kind of what I was disappointed with, that just the belief wasn't there. And, I think we come out in the second half, we just didn't show up. And when you play a good football team, don't show up, they boom, boom, game over.
That's right. They did. They just come out and just flew right down twice. And that's just kind of how.
And we come out flat, and I mean, you can't do that. And we're looking at, I'm looking at different things, trying to figure out how to get us going coming out of the half, because it feels like it takes half the third quarter, and then we wake up, and then we're ready to play. Well, play a good football team is too late.
Yeah.
And
well, we had talked about that on our broadcast on Friday night. We had a few times where the other team come out and they got the second half kickoff and kind of got back in the ball game on us. One being Montgomery, one being Turner County. And had they not had those second half,
Echo did the same thing.
Not had those drives to start the second half, it's a whole different ball game. But no, that's things y'all work on. That's things y'all going to correct. But talk a little bit about Turner, because we wasn't here for Turner, but we lost that ball game 34-33. You may not want to talk about it this way, but I'm looking at it as we got robbed. There's just so many things happening in that ball game that went against us that I felt like shouldn't have. Just put it that way. I won't say much more about that, but just feel like we got robbed. And
well, I think that we've played with Atco in the past, and it's been a while, I think, since we played with Turner, and I think it was really a big deal when we come out, and it's like, man, I think it even shocked the kids, like, man, we're gonna beat these dudes. And
we led that ball game for about 80%, and maybe 85% of that ball game we led.
Yeah, well, and then, I mean, the big call right before half that was a horrible call, and the officials have even told me it was a horrible call. Changed the whole ball game, I feel like, because it was
well, you had a pass
17-6.
interference that gave them a first down, and then you had
that was questionable.
Then you had a block in the back on a defensive player. How does a defensive player? They don't. Just to put it that way, a defensive player don't block in the back. So
well, the explanation I got was he shoved the lineman in the back after the ball's gone, and on film they called it on Kelvin, or chewing Kelvin out, because like, why did you do something so dumb? We look on you want a lemon? We look on film, and he's like hitting the running back, engaging the running back, as the ball's been like clean play. And on top of that, it's 4th and 11. They mark off 12 yards just randomly. So
Well, he picked up the flag. I mean, we got it on video.
I mean, it's
He
just,
picked up the flag and moved it forward because it's from the spot of the foul, and it allowed him to get enough yardage for the first down.
And so, anyway, and I don't want to sit here and blame the officials, but it was a big deal. And instead of being 17-6 and them getting the ball in the second half, and they never stopped us. So
17-14.
Yeah, it would have been 24-14. And then all of a sudden, again, just like Atco, if as long as they were able to stay run and pass, if we can turn you into one-dimensional,
Yeah.
we feel like we can get a good we can pass rush. And we just never could get ahead after that. And then we were swapping scores with them the whole second half. And but with all that said, I mean, our linebackers were really banged up that week, and they played like it. They played very timid, and which, you know, they played like they were hurt. And so plays that they have stuck their head in there, shoulder in there, they wasn't doing it, and they were kind of – they just played timid, and it showed, and we didn't tackle very well. Had we tackled like we did Friday versus Irvin against Turner, it's not even close.
That's right.
And we had a chance to get off the field several times, and we didn't. And, I mean, so that was the disheartening thing at Turner. And, you know, just looking at the region right now, I was talking to Coach McGowan yesterday at ATCO. The region's kind of separated itself. You got Irwin and Clinch and Wilcox, who's like in the top tier. I really believe Irwin and Wilcox will be a pretty good game this week, but I think Irwin's a little bit better, especially from a defense standpoint. Yeah, you know. But if anybody's got big play potential, it is Wilcox. But I feel like those top three teams have kind of separated themselves, and then the rest of the region, every time that they have played, it has been a one-score game.
That's right.
Every time I think Turner beat Telfair by 3. We beat Atco by 7. Turner beats Charlton by 7. Atco's beat Charlton by 1. So 4 through 8 is it's been a war. And but I'm just glad we're in that conversation of where when we show up, you know, that we're going to compete, and we're trying to get the next step is being able to compete with all these teams and win more of them, and then move ourselves into the upper echelon like Wilcox has done this year.
We want to get to the point to where we're only seeing one homecoming a year, and that's the one at Rockmore Stadium. And we're getting there, Coach.
That's where we started at in Macon County. We every week we showed up at somebody's homecoming. We said, this is the homecoming revenge tour. And we beat folks bad enough that we wasn't anybody's homecoming anymore. That's right. When we showed up to town, people were like, we are in trouble tonight.
That's
and
right. I think it was you that quoted someone the other day. He said, you lose ugly the first year, you lose close the second year, you win close the third year, and you dominate folks the fourth year.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
So,
and
I like that. I like that quote, and feel like that's the direction we're headed in.
Well, that's Buddy Nobles.
That's right.
That's what Coach Nobles, when Coach Detter worked for Coach Nobles down in Union, that's kind of how it went. And that's kind of where we are. You know, we're 2-5, and like I said, we're 3 points away from being 4-3, and really feel like if we had them first two back, you know, the Union game, we feel like we would win those games. And which Montgomery's having a pretty good year. They're like 5-2.
Well,
and we need them to keep winning.
Feel like we are 2-5, but feel like we're 5-2.
Yeah.
It's just been that kind of a year. Been an exciting year. We've played good football, I think, and folks don't just put a W on the win side anymore.
I put it this way: we got 2 different groups who are tailgating at Rockmore Stadium Friday night. And you know, Coach Ray told me that today, and you know, he's like, people are looking, and I've had other people. It's like, we look forward to Friday night now.
Mm-hmm.
We're not worried about, you know, we're looking forward to it, and you know, it's just it's been a fun year. I mean, it really has. Like I've never been 2-5 and said I've had a fun year, but just looking at the growth of some of our kids, and just seeing the joy on everybody's face of, believing that they're a winner, and that I show up on Friday night and I play my tail off, and good things are going to happen.
Well, we're growing in numbers. You look at, I mean, I've been here forever. I mean, I'm old as dirt, so I've been here since we started. So most years, if you're doing pretty good, you keep 80%. If you're not doing very good, and this is a good year. Good year, you're keeping 80%. Bad year, you're lucky if you keep 50. We haven't lost anybody notably that I can remember. Not everybody's still there. Even the injured guys come out to practice. And years past, a guy that was hurt, you'd had to beat him to death to get him to come to practice. But we have guys that are suffering from past concussions that's trying to heal up, different things, and they're out there at practice every day. We haven't had that through the years, so it's good to see. It's just good to see.
Well, I mean, it's just something we preach about family, and I tell the kids every day I love them, and I really do. I was sitting there talking to Kobe Conley this morning. I was like, I spend more time with your butt than my wife and daughter. I really do.
That's
like,
right.
So, and when you spend time, I mean, you gonna see us. We fight. I mean, we do. We get into it, and there's frustrations fly around, and we had a good practice day. I mean, I thought we was gonna have. It got heated out there between offense and scout D, but here we are. We've been playing football a while, and people are having a smile on their face and having a good time at practice, and that's how you get better. And
well, I can tell you this. The softball team, we just talked to Coach Rob Brunell. They're going to Columbus Wednesday afternoon. In years past, you probably wouldn't have been able to have practice on Wednesday because a lot of your team would have left. They went to Columbus, but they're not. I know they love the girls, and they're proud of them, but they'll be at practice, and they'll be getting ready for Clinch County Friday night.
I'm sure we'll be watching. We'll be keeping up with the girls Thursday and Friday and weight training. And I remember last year we was playing Telfair, and I believe the Commerce game was the Commerce game. Did we play Commerce on?
We played Commerce up in Commerce, but then we played Bowden and
what was the
Tron.
extra?
It was the game Friday night.
Sly County.
Yeah.
The extra inning game that was. I remember Pete just coming out and keep saying the score in the middle of the game. And
That was the first football game I missed 16 years. Was last year when they was playing Sly County, but hopefully they'll win this week. I hate to miss football Friday night. I don't know when I missed a Clinch County football game, but Lanier Clinch. But this will be the one we win, and then my son will tell me I can't never come back.
Oh man, if we shot the world, y'all gonna be sick.
What they say, Coach, it's been good talking with you. We caught up, I think, on everything that's been going on around Bulldog football. We got anything else you'd like to add tonight?
Yeah, just want to get the middle school. I don't know if we.
I don't think we done. I meant to do that. I thought about that earlier.
The middle school ended up finishing in the Final Four and got beat out by Brooks, who, had a couple kids that wasn't there at the beginning of the year and then come back out or something. I don't know. Anyway, they had a big factor in the game, and Eric Brown, one of our better kids, got hurt, broke his collarbone in the Berrien game and wasn't able to finish the season. But
I think Brooks went from sneaking in the playoffs to winning the whole conference. Or did they
beat Dooley? I don't know
if they beat Dooley or not. I knew they beat Irwin.
It was Dooley and Brooks playing in the championship.
Yeah, I knew that, but they must have beat Irwin before we played them.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
First round they beat Irwin, and then come here. Second round and then championship was at Dooley. So.
Something like that. I can't remember, but just a really good. It's been a great year from top to bottom. The middle school ended up going. I forget what their record was, but going probably deeper in the playoffs. Hosted 2 playoff games. I don't think that's ever been done.
I don't think so either.
Since we've been in the conference. Beat Brooks at the beginning of the year. I don't think they did a lot of first.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I think Coach Dooner was in middle school the last time they were
Last time had a winning record, probably.
really good.
Yeah.
And they talk about that middle school team all the time and how half the team never made it to high school. They moved off or grades or whatnot. But anyway, they had a great year. And kind of what we've done is taken the middle school kids are still playing. We've taken the 8th grade kids and moved them up, and they're playing JV, which, you know, I've been really excited. I mean, we come out the first of the year, and JV played pretty good against Wilcox. Didn't show up to Pierce at all. It was awful.
Pierce wasn't very good, but other than that.
And you know, and so we took this break, and now we've had to move. We moved the 8th grade kids up where we'd have enough to play Thursday, and our the improvement that those kids have made since that Pierce game to now, really excited about, and added those 8th graders in who have looked really good on Thursday. Went down to Lafayette and
Mayo, Florida, and beat them.
Mayo,
40,
Florida. They're
46.
number 2 in single A football in Florida. They're
We beat them
varsity.
46-16.
46,
Something
yeah, I
like that.
can't, 14, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really good game. Just the depth of linemen that we're bringing up is I'm really excited about. Really excited about our young linemen, especially the 8th grade bunch. But our 10th and 9th grade guys have gotten a lot better. And like we said up front, when you're good up front on both sides of the ball, it really makes a difference. And that's the difference you see in JV. They play this week. They play Berrien here at 5. I know the fall festival's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on, but those guys have been working their tail off just like the varsity
They
has.
deserve your support. If you can get out,
Yeah.
if you can squeeze some time in between watching the Lady Dogs on the network and going to the fall festival, if you can run down to Rockmore Stadium and watch that JV bunch, I mean, you won't be disappointed.
No, they're playing good football, and so the guys that wasn't eligible to play 12U basically moved up, and they've been with us the past 2 weeks and going to be with us through next week, and they've gotten better. Looked really good at practice, and then the other middle school guys are playing 12U. They have not lost a game in 12U.
Right.
And it's the same group that won 10U, and
Well, that JV group went to,
I think they
went
gave
to
up
Hamilton last Thursday.
and played half the varsity.
Played most of the varsity. When you play number 14, you played their best player, and they lost 34-33 and led for most of that ball game. And
I forgot about that game.
yeah, led most of it. I mean, I thought it was the same 19 guys. They had 19 guys out there anyway. And
I did play some varsity guys, and that's what I'm saying. We might have played 1 or 2, and if they did, they were all in 10th grade, and
well, I think
they
what
only
we
played
done is
2
we
quarters.
they played 2 quarters. We had a couple that played just to have somebody for that position.
Yeah,
And,
because there are some positions on the JV that we're thin, and they got to go help out, and so. But 12U team has, like I said, they played a couple travel teams, the Blackhawks out of Waycross, who have been known.
they've been known to be loaded. I've played them
Okay.
before myself.
We went over there and put a thumping on them, and 21-0, I think, and then went to Berrien last week, and I think it got 39-0. So really excited about the future of this program, and I know our 10U and 8U team's been doing pretty well too. So I'm really excited
Well,
about.
they're all split up right now. I think the 10Us and 8Us. So when they put their whole package together, they're a lot more competitive than what they.
And Will and our rec coach have done a great job, and Coach Dooner is a big part of that, and Coach Benson and Coach Stud Steele, I think, is out there now, and Coach White's back in the park, and just I'm really excited about building this thing, man. It's I think playing every week when we run across the field, win or lose. I mean, it's like, Coach, I don't know what y'all doing down here, but y'all doing the right stuff. And even last week, I mean, all them guys from Ocilla, had several people that I know from Ocilla just living up that way. And like, Kurt, that's the best team in a while since we've been going to Lakeland. We've been going down there and playing middle school games. Like, I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all doing it right. And that's just a testament to our kids and our coaches and everybody that's involved in the program. And Friday night is rec night and senior night. And if you're not going to Columbus, we need you at Rockmore Stadium making some noise.
That's right.
I know the weather scared off a lot of folks last week, but we need you in a seat making some noise. We need that energy, and we need to feed off of it. And
Playing the defending Class A champions.
that's it.
They did lose to Irwin 14-0, but they still have the higher power rating than Irwin right now. And speaking of that, we're number 30, and you think number 30 isn't significant, but that's the highest we've been this late in the season since the power ratings came out.
Yeah, and I think we're just a few tenths out of like 27, 26.
That's right. A few 100s.
We got because that goes like barely ahead of us, and they're like 26 or something like that.
That's right.
Got some ground to make up. I mean, we got to win the last two, definitely.
Their win over Telfair put them in that position over us, or we would be higher. We would be in the.
And they got Turner this week, so that's a big game. It's just a big game every week in this region, and been a lot of fun. Been a lot of fun this year showing up and knowing your kids are going to play hard and compete their tail off and have fun while they're doing it.
That's right. Well, like I say, we're 30th. Still got 3 ball games to go. And at this point in the season, I think it's probably been 7, 8, 9 years that we have still had an opportunity this late in the year to make the playoffs. And that goes back to prior. Yes, that's right. 2012 goes back to prior to the power rating system. So
2012 was my first year coaching high school football.
Right. Got a little bit of work to do yet, but I think we win a couple of these last 3, and we got an outside shot of getting in there. And
we went to the softball game Wednesday night when I had some kids standing around, and the atmosphere was great at the softball game. And just, I think it was Ryan and Keontae was sitting there, and I'm like, do y'all see this? Like, if we get in the playoff, this is what playoff football feels like. And that's why we work. And so, if we, hopefully, we got a tough test this week. We had a great day of practice, so we need 3 more good days of practice, and we're going to have to play well to win Friday. So kids know that, we know that, and see what happens. But it's, like I said, it is exciting showing up every week, knowing you got a chance, and knowing we got a chance to if we win the last 2 for sure, it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
The numbers and need Union, Hamilton, and Montgomery to win as
many as they can.
And so.
Well, everybody that's on our schedule to win is them region games are going to beat each other. Somebody's going, but the ones we beat would help us more if they win games than the ones that we have lost to.
Yeah, well, I think are playing Irwin, who's undefeated, and then Atco won, bumped us up, and Montgomery won Friday night too. So
that's right.
We actually went up in the power ratings after losing, but
that's right.
Looking at it today, it seemed like everybody has kind of the same record as us, all the way up to like 24, and then above 24, it's really going to be a dogfight over 24 spot, I think. So,
that's right.
Anyway.
All right, well, Jeremy, you got anything else you want to add?
Nothing else.
We'll get out of here until next Monday night. Then, Coach, we're going if the girls are unfortunately was to lose early, we'll try to get back to the game Friday. If not, we're going to be with the girls at the playoffs Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And
when's the last time we went to Columbus back-to-back years?
I couldn't even tell you. It's been a while.
It's really exciting. I mean, just all sports around here
taking off.
Yeah,
really
I mean, I see softball being good. Just looking at the rec department and all these girls coming through.
But it never is in the shop. But there's a banner that hangs over our head and has a 10U state championship. and there ain't very many of those in Lanier County.
Yeah.
So
It's exciting. Just just all sports. Something it's a great place, man. It really is, and I think we're diamond in the rough. That's what everybody told me when I took this job. It's a diamond in the rough, coach. Like if you can get them going, it's and right now we're on the right track. We just got to keep going and keep building and keep getting bigger, faster, and stronger, and see what happens. So.
that's right. All right. Well, good luck Friday, and we'll be keeping up with you. With our good friend Lynn Robbins from the Advocate, he'll be on WBTY, and we'll be listening.
I guess
to him
everybody have
Friday
to
night.
check out
I do
their
believe.
live stream.
I talked to Barry and Sutton earlier. I think Creek Box is going to be there too.
Creek Box will be live. If you want to watch the Bulldogs, you'll probably have to hear Clinch County commentators, but go to you can go to Creek Box, but you can go to, what is it called? Backroad Sports.
Backroadsports.tv.
Backroadsports.tv and find the Creek Box link, and you can watch Alan Henley. I don't know if Alan's back.
I don't know if he's back or not.
Hope his daughter's doing well.
Yeah,
and
his
he's back
daughter
in the Clinch County games. If not, they'll have somebody on there over there doing that. All right, for Coach Kurt Williams and Jeremy Lewis, we're going to sign off here from the Huddle House. We'll see y'all again next week.
Go Dogs. Tell them bye. Bye.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger, and you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.